This lesson covers warnings which affect the ECAM system. Most warnings relate to electronic components which you, as a pilot, may not be aware of at all, until there is a fault with them. They include computers, such as the FWCs, the flight warning computers, the SGU, or symbol generator units, and the SDAC, or System Data Analog Converter. Before we look in detail at the warnings, let's see what each of these electronic components does. We have seen in previous lessons the main ECAM components that are visible to the pilots in the cockpit, the two DUs, the warning display and the system display, and the ECAM control panel, which allows the crew to interact with the ECAM system and choose various system pages to display. Now let's see where they get their information from. The two flight warning computers, FWCs, receive the aircraft's system data in order to process warning, caution, and status information. Critical failures, mainly level 3, are supplied to each FWC. Other failures, mainly level 2, are split between the two FWCs. The flight warning computers also generate audio warning signals and master light signals and stick shaker signals when you're approaching the stall situation. Select the other two ECAM system components to see what they do. When you're ready, select the forward arrow to continue. Select each of the computers highlighted. The two symbol generator units, SGUs, process the output from both FWCs and the SDAC in order to present various messages or system displays. The two symbol generator units, SGUs, process the output from both FWCs and the SDAC in order to present various messages or system displays. The System Data Analog to Digital Converter, SDAC, acquires various data and converts it into the digital format ready for further processing. That completes the introduction to the ECAM computers before we look at the warnings themselves. It's important to note that the severity of any of the ECAM warnings depends on whether there are any other backup systems available. The operation of any part of the ECAM system after a failure has been optimized, and in most cases the ECAM can still be used to provide you with the most essential information. Let's begin. Select the forward arrow to look at the warning for a single flight warning computer failure. Apart from the master caution and single chime, the only indication of an FWC failure is this warning message. You have to monitor the overhead panel and the right ECAM because there is no procedure for half of level 1 and 2 warnings. For all the level 1 and 2 warnings that are available, the left ECAM only gives the name of the affected system. All the level 3 warnings are still processed by the available FWC and shown on the ECAM as normal. Clearing the ECAM will bring you to the memo page with a permanent reminder to monitor the right ECAM and panels for lost systems. In the unlikely event of both flight warning computers failing, no warning messages are available. Select the forward arrow to see the warning in this case. When both FWCs fail, the master caution illuminates and the left ECAM unit will permanently display the above message. If the failure of both FWCs is due to the loss of the audio module, this message will appear. Obviously, there will be no single chime in this case, but as before, cancelling the clear light on the ECAM control panel acknowledges the failure. The FWS oral fault message will appear on the top of the memo page when you clear the oral warning fault. Now let's look at the indications that appear when SGU 1 or 2 fail. Select the forward arrow to simulate this failure. Here, SG1 has failed, and the left ECAM is affected. Once the failed SGU has been switched off, all the functions will be available and shown as normal. This is because each SGU is able to generate all the information for both ECAMs. A failure of the system data analog converter, on the other hand, affects the information displayed on both ECAMs. Select the forward arrow to see this failure. The memo mode, the action feedback in the procedures messages, and the system display function are no longer available except the fuel quantity indication. If you have an aircraft system failure while the SDAC is inoperative, the above message will appear. A few status messages are also lost. The next scenario concerns the CRTs themselves. Select the forward arrow to see what happens when a single CRT fails. If the CRT picture fails or disappears, the CRT has to be switched off using the brightness knob on the ECAM control panel. The remaining CRT will provide the crew with all the functions normally available on both CRTs, but sequentially. The available CRT presents the memo page, and all system pages can be called manually, except the cruise page. When an activated warning or caution occurs, warning and caution messages are shown on the available CRT. The affected system page selection is then limited to manual, but only when the warning message is cleared. Finally, we'll look at the indications when both CRTs fail, which effectively means you have no ECAM displays. Select the forward arrow to see this. If both CRTs fail, you should switch them off. The master lights are still available, and diagnosis of failure is still possible by master lights and local warnings. You're back to life without ECAMs. Now for some questions.